So you have an idea for a new hospitality concept. Maybe you have found a potential space. Maybe you are talking to landlords right now. Maybe you are starting to price out designers and construction and equipment vendors. Maybe you are trying to access additional funding right now. And on the surface, though, yes, that can all feel very exciting. But this is also the stage where hospitality projects quietly become expensive. And the reason is because the next steps happen out of order. A lease maybe gets signed before the numbers are clear. A designer gets hired before the operating model is fully understood. A brand is built before the guest strategy is even validated, or a budget is created before the full startup journey is mapped out. That is exactly why we created the KRG roadmap. The KRG roadmap, it's a strategic starting point for hospitality founders and operators and investors who need clarity before moving into deeper playbook development or lease commitments or costly execution. This is not a generic consultation. This is not a motivational exercise, and it is definitely not a full business plan. It is a practical, strategic development tool that helps really answer one critical question. Are you ready to move forward, and do you understand what is needed? Through the roadmap, we help you organize your concept, assess your current level of readiness, identify gaps, outline your startup journey, establish an early budget direction, and understand what the first year of operations could realistically require and look like for you. One of the first things we look at is an operational readiness assessment, because opening a hospitality business is not just about having a great idea or a strong location or a beautiful room. It requires decisions around service style and labor structure and guest flow and leadership and vendors and technology and licensing and build outs and training and systems, and the list goes on. The roadmap helps surface what you have already figured out, what still needs to be decided, and where hidden risks may still exist. This gives you a clearer picture of whether you are ready for the next stage, or whether more validation, planning, or structure is needed first. From there, we help outline the startup journey for you. Most founders, they underestimate the number of decisions that are required between idea and opening day. There are hundreds of moving parts. There is that site selection, the lease reviews, the concept development, design coordination, financial modeling, funding, permitting, branding, vendor selection, hiring, training, technology, marketing, and opening day systems. And again, the list goes on. The roadmap gives you a better understanding of that entire sequence. What comes first and what should wait and what depends on something else. Basically, where a rushed decision could create expensive consequences for you later. We also help develop an early budget outline. At this stage, the goal is not false precision. The goal is financial direction. You need to understand the likely cost categories, the potential investment ranges, the working capital needs, and the financial pressure points before you move deeper into planning and development. This is especially important before signing a lease, approaching investors, hiring professionals, or committing to a full build-out. The roadmap, it helps you see whether your current assumptions are realistic, underbuilt, or missing critical pieces. The roadmap, it also looks at early ROI potential and your first year operational outlook, because getting open, it is not the finish line. The real question is whether the business has a reasonable path to stabilize, to generate revenue, control costs, and support the return that you are expecting. We help you think through the operating model, revenue expectations, cost pressures, labor needs, management structure, and what the first year may actually demand from you as an owner or investor. This is where many founders gain a completely different level of clarity, because it is one thing to open. It is another thing to open and then operate with control. By the end of the KRG roadmap, which is typically completed in about 5 business days, you are left no longer guessing. You have a strategic summary of where the opportunity stands, what gaps need to be addressed, what playbooks need to be developed, what risks need to be managed, and what the next steps make the most sense for you. For some clients, that means moving into deeper KRG method playbook development. For others, it means slowing down, adjusting the concept, rethinking the budgets, or avoiding a costly mistake before too much money is committed. Either outcome here is very valuable because the purpose of the roadmap is to not push you forward at all costs. The purpose is to help you move forward with confidence and discipline and a clear understanding of what this business will actually require. Now, if you are considering a bar, restaurant, a hotel, any other hospitality concept, the KRG roadmap is the right place to start before that lease is signed, before those designs get started and that spend happens, before the full playbook build is needed, before the expensive uncertainty happens. Get the roadmap first, then decide what should come next.